Joining me is Chris Gamache, who's the New Hampshire Supervisor of Trails. Chris, thanks for being here.
Oh, my pleasure, John. Thank you.
So, I have to stop. What is the New Hampshire Supervisor of Trails? What do you do?
Well, as the chief of the Bureau of Trails, I oversee what is the statewide trail system. Predominantly, my major focus is motorized. Snowmobile and off-highway recreational vehicles are our focus on a statewide basis on public and private lands. And then on state parks and state forests, we're the technical resource for hiking, mountain biking, equestrian, sled dog, and other trail users.
So how many miles of trails do we have in New Hampshire? Or maybe you don't know the answer to that.
Well, there's different answers depending upon, what it is you're looking for.
Okay.
The highest number of miles is for the snowmobile trail system, and that's about 7,300 miles in the state.
So you could be snowmobiling for a long time, all winter.
Oh, absolutely.
And almost not go over the same place.
Correct. The network starts you can start at the Massachusetts border and ride up into Canada, or from Vermont into Maine, or any combination thereof.
And what about hiking trails?
Hiking trails is a general estimate, and that's somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 to 2,000 miles around the state.
Are there any? Have you hiked them all?
Absolutely not.
Okay. You wouldn't have time to work, I guess.
Right. It wouldn't be a bad thing to try, but it'd be tough to get my work done.
And is there, I don't know if you have stats on this. Is there a history of somebody saying that's my goal in life is to hike every foot of every trail?
I've not heard that goal. Traditionally it's a little more pared down.
The 40 peaks, the 48 peaks.
Yeah, the 4,000 footers is the goal, and things like that. There's sections of the Appalachian Trail, so the goals are usually a little smaller.
Okay. So, tell me, you mentioned sled dogs, you mentioned equestrian.
Yep.
And I naturally thought of biking and ATV and
right.
Hiking. But do we have a lot of people equestrian related trails?
We do. There are a smaller number of equestrian users than there are for the hiking populations and the mountain bikes. But there is definitely a market of horseback riders out there.
And are there people from out of state that come in, or are there people that sort of bring horses in vacation, or they're just local people? What?
A lot of it is local. There is some, that comes in from the tourism market from out of state. What exactly that ratio is, I'm not sure. But New Hampshire is a destination state for recreation and your vacations. So no matter what it is someone does, there are people from out of state that are coming to New Hampshire to try it.
And how many? Where are the equestrian trails? I'm just curious because
it varies. We manage for the most part state properties, so it's going to be the multi-use rail trails around the state. We've got about 300 miles of those that are owned by the state of New Hampshire and managed by our agency, and of that, the vast majority, probably 250 to 275 miles, is open for horseback riding. A lot of the trails in the state parks and state forests are available for horseback riding as well. So it's little pockets of riding. There isn't a statewide network that exists, because once you get onto private land, it really is up to the private landowner.
Are there problems with the different types of horse versus ATV? Do they share the same network at the same time?
They do share the same network at the same time, and user conflicts are always something that we deal with. It has gotten a lot better over the decades, and for the most part, if everyone out there is being reasonable, we don't hear any complaints. Depending upon the horseback riders, some of them prefer to share a trail with an ATV instead of a bicycle because they can hear the ATV coming, they can't hear the bicycle.
Right,
and there are others that make the counter argument. So,
and I guess the horse probably can hear it as well, and
yes.
It's not spooked. And
yep.
Okay, it's something I never really even thought about.
Yeah, well, we've got a finite footprint, so
right.
Everyone can't have their own network. People have to share.
So, we got about 30 seconds left. Sled dogs. That's got to be in the North Country.
Oh no, all over the state.
All over.
There's a bunch in the North Country. The largest concentration is actually probably in the central part of the state, though.
No kidding.
Yes.
Huh. Well, we're just out of time in this segment.